Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 143 of my Sinto Let's Play. So in the previous episode, I started turning all my bees, all my special thermic bees. I inoculated them with all the different humidity and temperature tolerance. You can see all of them now has tolerances to both directions up and down in both humidity and temperature. All of them are pretty much the same. Of course, you can see the values of some of them. For example, the water bee, the aqua queen, likes damp humidity, but it's still tolerant in both directions in humidity. So as you can see, the conduits are still connected, although since this conduit is kind of in the blue state and not in the orange state, it now doesn't consume any energy, and they're running, even though they're running with the alveoles, with the fans and everything, the fans and heaters are not running, so finally the bees are running on their own. And I should also start seeing that those batteries, they start to build up a charge. And that's what should have been happening in the past, I don't know, 50 episodes or so, and I simply didn't realize that those fans and heaters consumed so much energy and it had trouble building up. And also why this charge in here never built up, because the engines kept running and the charge kept being used. But now it should start building up again. Okay, so my Galgadoran drill cart that I've been working for so long is finally completed. It finished in the previous episode. However, since I did find something interesting while searching my Great Wood Forest, I actually would like to try something before building this directly. My original plan was to build, to make some sort of a station, probably in the Nether, that will use all sorts of tesseracts and relays and filters and all that kind of things to make sure that the cart gets refueled with whatever it needs, which is basically rails and fuel and bridge material and all of that good stuff. But since I found something during my travels in the Great Wood Forest, in one of the libraries I actually found, let's sort this out, crystals. This is actually very interesting, and thinking about this gives me an opportunity. This is basically an opportunity to try something completely new, which I haven't tried before. But I think it will be, if it will work properly, it actually will be a really nice thing to have, and actually very fun to build. So let's go ahead and try getting some crystals. Now, if you don't really know what crystals do, you'll know very soon. I'm gonna just quickly make a new age. The giant forest was actually a good age. Let's use one of my template ages. Yeah, age 71 is a good one. Okay, so let's use that notebook here and start copying. So let's have it on a beach biome, single biome, noon, zero length, normal sun, normal moon. I can use normal stars actually instead of Ender Starfield. Although, let's go for Ender Starfield, I like the way it looks. Started lightning, flat, no weather, this thing. And let's go and let's use the features of crystals. And crystals. And let's make it, again, let's use the clear modifiers page. So if there are any mistakes, there shouldn't be any irregularities in the age. Let's take that book, dump it in here, make the new age, and return the notebook. Let's take the actual age, the descriptive book. I'm gonna need some book stands and probably some linking books. I think all of those linking books are not that great. Let's just get the new one. Okay, let's make two. Okay, so place it here temporarily. Place, I'm going to the descriptive book to be used. And let's make two linking books just in case, and use one of them. Oh wait, wrong book. There we go. Okay. You can already see, I don't know if I'm lucky or it's supposed to be like that, but those are crystals. Welcome to crystals. Okay, so crystals can be broken just using a mining pick. So I think you can break them just like this, yep. They break similar to, they make the sound of glass, although they break more like iron or something, they're relatively strong. The pickaxe usually make a quick work of them, of those type of blocks, but basically just another material you can mine in the world, nothing too fancy about it. And actually they spawn relatively easily, like there's a ton of them. I don't know if it's intended or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and quickly mine myself a nice amount of crystals, so be right back. Okay, so getting rid of that small crystal cluster right here gave me almost 2 stacks. That's actually quite enough. I don't need any more, I think. There only can be used to actually create this thing, which is what I'm going to use it for. I'm not going to dump the age just yet. It's going to still remain here, so in case I need something, I can just come back here and mine it. Let's actually rename the age, so I know that age 74 is my crystal age. So let's rename that crystal age and do this so I can remember and that this is age 74. It's actually quite useful. I like doing that. And now, crystals. What do you do with crystals? Now, actually, at the very earlier portion of my Let's Play, I wanted crystal for something. I actually wanted to move spawners, mob spawners from one place to another. Now, if you recall, I actually moved a couple of spawners to the nether using the end gate, because you can simply walk through them while with your gravity gun holding the thing and it goes through no problem. However, I couldn't do this to my other ages for the simple reason that between my other ages there is no gate, there is a book. And to interact with the book you have to right click it, so there is a problem there. However, this is where crystals come in. Let me give you an example on how exactly they work. So let's go, for example, to my Ender farm age. Let's do this in the Nether, in my my Wither farm slash demonic bee area. So right here, so far, every time I wanted to come back here, quite ironically, I'm doing this in the Nether where I have gate right outside here, so it kind of does make a difference, but it's very easy to show you guys how it works here. So far, every time I wanted to go through back to my age, I used this book, came through, and I was back at my house. Let's quickly get rid of the night, and I can go continue explaining. But with crystals, it can be changed. So I'm gonna need to craft something out of them. I'm gonna need to craft something called a book receptacle. Let's craft one for now. And what that gives me is, if I go back to that age, if I come back here, break this book. So instead of using the book stand, what I'm going to do is actually build a small portal. And let's build that portal right here. So it can look like this. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look like this. You can see it kind of has this shape of just one person going inside it. And on the side, I'm going to place my book receptacle. And place my the same book that I just broke right here. And you can see now this turned into a portal, and if I walk inside it, bam, I'm back at the same place. Just instead of interacting with the book, I just interacted with the gate. So this is one thing you can do with it. This is like the obvious simple thing you can do with it, so make everything more convenient, like to go through. But there is one more thing you can do with it. And I don't know if it works with items. Okay, it does work with items. You can see you can dump items into it, and I pick them up right here as I land. So just pick up the items. But this is not the main issue I want to do with it. This is not the main use for them, in my opinion. What I want to do with them is actually use them for carts. So if I'll go ahead and actually, let's steal some tracks from here. And I think my landing is exactly here. So let's place a couple of tracks here. Oops. Let's place a couple of tracks here. And I'm going to need some sort of cart. Let's just quickly make some makeshift cart. Let's do this. Some simple cart. I'm going to need also a simple booster track. And also let's get a torch. One torch. Okay, so obviously right now there is no cart in here. There will be no video editing involved. There is no cart in here. If I go back to that age, back to that nether age with the gate, if I go ahead and place some tracks here, which will lead back into here. Now actually I forgot to bring a booster track. This is kind of derpy. Let's go ahead and get some. So the cart will have some speed when it actually goes into the gate. Although I don't think it's necessary, but it kind of will make a bit more sense. Okay, so if I come here and place some tracks and place a booster track right here, and let's also place another track here and here. If I place a redstone torch here, making the booster track work, place a card, push it into it. You can see the card disappeared. I just had a little bit of game lag, but it went through the portal, it disappeared, and if I follow it through, there it is. Now I think there might be some sort of problem. I probably want to change the way the entry part work, but you can clearly see that there is some very nice and potential use for these kind of things, since if those cards can go through, using my Galgadorian drill card, I can actually, instead of make some sort of a complicated, intricate system using Tesseract and relays, I can simply teleport it back to this age and unload it here and make everything a lot more easier. Now, in the previous episode, I did actually work quite a bit on actually getting an auto-crafting of Tesseract system working, so it's kind of ironic that I'm not going to use it that much, but I'm still going to find a use for them, so don't worry. Anyway, let's start looking through the nether where I could potentially start mining. Now, originally when I planned to mine in the nether, I was thinking about basically mining crystals, glowstone crystals, and soul sand. Soul sand and glowstone crystals are what I'm interested in. Now the problem is I think soul sand is kind of on the same generic height. Approximately right now I'm at height 63. You can see you can find a lot of those quicksand layers at the same height here as well. If I keep going, there's some more soul sand here. It's roughly all in the same layer, so probably letting the cart mine in that average layer would pretty much be a good idea. But I think it will actually be more fun if I try and let the cart mine in the Twilight Forest stage. Even though I don't think there might be some glowstone in there, I don't think there are any soul sand in there, but nevertheless I think the result will be actually a lot more amusing, at least in the beginning. When it starts being too much of a trouble, I will stop doing that, but to begin with I want to try. So let's go ahead to the Twilight Forest stage. Let's take a quick look at what could potentially be mined there. And every time I go through, it tells me that it's a Twilight arrival. And the reason I want to do that mainly is because of those giant ravines. The Twilight Forest is literally littered with those giant caves and ravines, and those mounds. As you can see, there is glowstone here. So mining that is actually quite a good idea. And this is pretty much my plan. Now, I don't know how common glowstone is underground. I'm actually going to look that up. It might not be as common, and I might actually change my mind. Let me quickly take a look. Okay, so actually eventually I decided to go ahead and mine in the nether instead of the Twilight Forest, mainly just because of the technical challenge that it acts as, and also because there are two products in the nether that I'm looking for, which are both the glowstone crystals and the soul sand, and also again the technical challenge that behind it. So I really want to try and mine in the nether instead of doing it in Twilight Forest, even though I actually just went ahead and checked, and I did. I forgot about it, but I did find the glowstone crystals page, so I could try and make an age with dedicated glowstone. But then again, I want to try and go ahead and make it kind of some sort of a technical challenge. So build it in the nether, mine in the nether. Okay, so let's begin with the actual how will I unload everything. So let's open up quickly the Steve's cards page. Okay, so I'm gonna need a cargo manager, and I might need a model toggler. pretty sure I will need it. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. There is no doubt about that. I'm gonna need the module toggler, and I'm gonna need a cargo manager and cargo distributor. I don't think I'm going to need. Let's actually just go ahead and craft this. Okay, I'm gonna do this off screen. Ooh, what's this? Oh. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna start by creating the module toggler. This is actually a very interesting block, and a very useful, and mainly useful for what I'm going to do because of the way it works. I actually might not need it, I think. Oh no, I'm going to need this. Yeah, no doubt I'm going to need this. Okay, so module toggler. Let's quickly build this. So it's gonna need gold, iron, stone, redstone, advanced PCBs, some sort of an orange dye, and some sort of a blue dye. So I think in terms of dyes, I have no problem. I've got orange dye, and I've got some lapis, and I'm gonna need some gold as well, some redstone, some normal stone, lapis of course, and some normal stone, and an advanced PCB. And that's actually a very interesting and useful block. And the amazing thing when I think about it is this wasn't originally planned in the mod. It was kind of added at a later stage. And I don't know how it was possible to do things beforehand. This is a very interesting thing. If I place a couple of rails here, of course, I'm going the advanced detector rail. This is kind of obvious, I think. Actually, I might not need it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, you can see there is a module toggler right here. Now you can see that every side has these two colors, these two arrows colored with blue and yellow. And what it means that the cart can go in both directions, either here or here. So what you can tell that, for example, you can tell that the drill deactivate the drill at either direction, or activate the drill at either direction. So if a card comes from the right or comes from the left, no matter what, at the current state the drill will be activated. Now of course if it doesn't have a drill, it doesn't make any difference, because who cares? Now you can do like this. It doesn't matter what, toggle at each direction. So coming from the right or the left, whatever your state is, change it, and then you can do it like this to force activation in blue direction and deactivation in orange direction, or the other way around, or again disable it. So I think it covers every possible state, and that's important because if I'm going to make this drill come back to my age, I don't want the drill mining anything it shouldn't by accident. So this is kind of a must. So this is the module toggler. I'm also going to need a cargo manager, and this one I'm going to go ahead and create off screen, so I'll be right back. Okay, something to keep in mind though, that now I'm starting to mine using carts. I may need to increase the production of tracks here. So mostly pretty much the bottleneck of the entire production lane, is the creosote oil. So pretty much increasing the production is just building some more of those coke ovens. For the time being, I'm not going to build any, but we'll see how it turns out. I might need to, but we'll see. Anyway, I've got whatever I needed. I got the module toggler, I got the cargo manager. I'm going to need some crystals, and I'm also going to need to build some sort of a makeshift station and actual nether, so I get to decide where do I want to start mining actually. So let's do that first. Also, let's get some tracks as a reference, and from here. Now again, this amount of wooden rail beds, this backlog of them is actually quite a ton of them, and there is also a ton of them available here, I think, yeah. But those are for booster truck though. This is a crazy amount of wooden rail beds, so although the amount of usage that I'm going to have with them at the moment will go significantly higher. They're going to be used a lot more. Okay, so let's find a nice place to start mining. Now right here I have my trap. I don't want to mine through this. I think I'm simply going to start mining towards that direction over there. So let's go to the right height, which is approximately height 60 or so. Let's make sure again. Yeah, this is the height of soul sand, right over there pretty much. So let's create the mining station right here. I'm gonna make it all covered with cobblestone because it's kind of immune to ghast fireballs, so this is kind of the important part of it all. And I'm gonna make something something easy, kind of fast here, so I'll be right back while being shot at by ghasts. Anyway, be right back. Okay, so I got this kind of makeshift mining station, sort of something base. Seems to be, I think it will be fine. I think carts can go through one height block, so there shouldn't be any trouble there. If they can't, I'm just gonna change that. And right outside here, I'm gonna build my module toggler, just like this. I don't know if this needs to be, actually, I'm gonna need this to be a little further out. Okay, so actually I'm gonna need one of those advanced detector rails to place it, so it's not gonna be too much of a help just yet. I can place the block in the world, but it's not going to do much. Let's just place it though. Okay, so I'm gonna place it right here, and what I'm going to say is, going to the yellow direction, I want to disable the drill because I don't want my cart taking all of this apart. So coming here, I'm gonna say drill, going to the yellow, deactivate. Oh, sorry, that was, okay. Going to the orange direction, deactivate, and going to the blue direction, activate. So from here going on forward, I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna, this is probably not going to stick too much, I think, but just a small protection. And this is going to be an advanced detector rail though, so let's go ahead and make some. And in terms of entry points, what I'm going to do is this will be some carts, and that will be the gate to go back to the overworld. So this needs to be changed like this. Now I think I need to make this 2 blocks high. I don't think carts can go through 0 blocks, although I don't really know. Okay, so that's of course going to change, and in terms of entry point, I'm gonna need some sort of a cheaty way to get them in actually. Yeah, this is the problem though. Okay, let's change that. If there's a problem, we'll change it back. Let's do something like this. No, actually, that's a problem. Let me think about it for a second. Okay, so here is the plan. I move the gate over here, and this will be the entry point. So what it means, the cart, once it's coming back from a full mining drill, it comes back here, goes through the teleport, and that will lead it back into my cargo system, whatever, in the overworld. And when it comes back in here, the book I'm gonna plan will be right here, and we'll send it right over here like this. So it should be really easy, nothing too problematic about it. Of course, I'm going to need a couple of books to actually complete the entire project, but this should pretty much be it. All those ghasts are annoying. Okay, so a couple of things I'm going to need. First, to actually make all the cargo managing system in the overworld, and also make sure I have those advanced detector tracks in my mining gauge. So let's start by actually managing the cargo. I'm going to find a nice spot for that. It doesn't actually matter where, just some sort of place with access to my applied logistics network. I think somewhere around here, next to my other farms. Like right here seems to be a nice suitable place. There is really no need for it to be in any more complicated place. So let's go ahead and actually make a couple of advanced detector tracks. Forgot the recipe. Okay, pressure plates, iron, and some redstone. Kind of simple. Some stone, please. And let's manually make some pressure plates. I'm gonna make the recipe twice, because I'm gonna need 3 of them at the moment. I have plans to use 3, not just 2. And since you make 2 each time, I'm gonna need the recipe twice. Okay, so let's have let's have it right about here. So this will be the cargo manager that will interact with the advanced detector track. Right, let's say right about here, I'm gonna have another advanced detector track or rail, because I want to have some sort of a manual way to say, okay, once you come here the next time and unload your cargo, shut down. So I'm going to need another lever here. Let's actually get one. There should be a wireless access point somewhere around here. Okay, let's get the lever there. So again, I have some sort of manual turning off the cart. So turning it on and off like this. Let's put some sort of indication. Okay. So right now, if the cart comes through here, it will get stuck here. And that will simply lead into the crystal gate or formation or whatever. So break this and make crystals. Oops. Okay. So that's that. And the entry point, again, I'm going to make it some sort of elevated system to make sure that the cart kind of drops after it comes in. Let's make it a little bit further away. Kind of like, okay, let's go even one block further. And also, since the drill is disabled once it comes in here, I'm also going to actually block the, I'm going to block this. So the entry point will be right here, and when it comes through, it doesn't, even if the orientation for some reason will be wrong, it won't be able to go to this side because it cannot build a bridge and it cannot drill because the drill is disabled. So it's making sure that it goes through this direction, unloads, reloads, whatever, all that good stuff, and goes back inside. Let's start taking care of the linking books. So I'm going to need a bunch of books right now. Actually, only two. So 2 books. And let's have the 2 different connections. So from the nether to here will be a connection point right over here. So I'm going to face this direction, standing right on this point, and make a linking book. So that's 1. And in the nether, and actually I'm going to need 2 book receptacles. So let's craft those. Well, just 2. Yeah, I had a feeling that this amount of crystals will be enough. Now I can use them for other things, but this is pretty much good enough. And in this age, coming back into my small mining facility here, I want the entry right here. So that I'm going to stand right here, face this direction, and create another linking book. Okay, and place the book receptacles in the right places. So place this one. Let's not place it here actually. Let's place it right here. This is back to the overworld. Place it right here. So once I go through, the cart goes through, it should land right here and start driving. And the other book receptacle will be placed right here. So once it's finished unloading, and if the lever allows it, it will go through, land right here, and continue mining. Awesome. Okay, so looking at the episode length, I think it will be a good time to stop right here. There are still a couple of steps to go, more than a few, so I think I really want to stop right here and continue to the next episode because I don't want to make this episode too long. But overall, the basic system is in place. Like, all the unloading system is in place, and I just need to connect everything together. Now, also, since I'm using the bridge builder module, builder, unlike here, where I only need to supply it, basically, here I need to supply it, for example, with bone meal and coal. This time around, I'm going to need to supply it with 3 materials. Coal for the engine, and also bridge building material, and there are specific bridge building materials. I actually really wanted to use netherrack as the bridge building material, as it's going to be a very common item this cart is going to mine, which I'm not going to have too much use for, but fortunately you cannot really do that, so this won't be one of them. So I'm going to take care of that and also take care of the rails or tracks. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the episode, saying that I could potentially need to make this small production line a lot larger. But for the time being, we'll see how that turns out, and I'm going to continue with this in the next episode. Alright, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.